Okay, in this review, we have Errand of Mercy to talk about after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. And what we can see is one of the biggest effects of Gene Coon being on the production team of the original series at this time was that some things get kind of polished up. We instead of the United Earth Space Probe Agency, we have an idea of the United Federation of Planets. We also have establishment of the Klingons, where the Romulans were supposed to be the main enemy. The Klingons actually have been established to have a much more contrast with the Federation. And yet in this episode, the contrast is not as much as what they have in common. Both sides hate each other, and both sides would like to see the other go away. And this is also one of Gene Coon's big influences, which was the Organian Peace Treaty, which required the Federation and the Klingons not to go to war with each other. And it did limit some of the story potential in later part, but that is one of the things that defined what Star Trek was. It was always a matter of negotiate rather than go to war. And with the Klingons, without this idea behind it, the Klingons would only be just someone to fight. It would be just the Empire against the rebels. And so what we have here is kind of a Cold War between the Klingons and the Federation, which will provide a rich background for future stories in the original series. But it's interesting to see where we have a first time that Sulu has been put in command of the ship. We don't know what happened to Scotty. He wasn't in this episode, but generally speaking, when Kirk and Spock are off the ship, they put Scotty in command. This time, the captain chose Sulu to do so. He wasn't there in as far as rank, but we know, of course, that the captain has the prerogative to put anybody he wants in command. He could have put anybody on the bridge crew in command of the ship while he's off. He had precise instructions that if things were to get busy in space, that he was to retreat and go back and get the fleet, which, of course, he did. And while they didn't show any kind of space battles or anything like this, the Organians really wouldn't permit it. We do see some action on the planet's surface. Kirk and Spock blow up an ammo dump, and both he and the Klingon commander have great disdain for the Organians, considering them sheep and too scared to fight or not caring enough about their own people or whatever, and are both kind of put in their place, really, by finding out the true nature of the Organians. Couple of interesting things here, and that Kor was the first Klingon that we have a name for, and he would be appearing, the same actor that played him, would appear also in Deep Space Nine, where Kor and Kang and Koloth all get together, along with Dax and Worf. So an interesting episode in DS9, which we may review one day. At any rate, Kor was the Klingon commander, played very well, and we find that once again they used the measuring stick of no advancement. Apparently, even in the time of Star Trek in the 23rd century, you had to move technologically ahead, a very 60s way of thinking. The more simplistic way of living was not something that was popular at the time, although it was being experimented with by what was called then the new culture. Then we also have screens instead of shields, Vulcanian instead of Vulcan, and something that was very prescient in one of the Organian speeches, in the future, your races will be great friends, to which Kirk and Kor exchange astonished looks. And of course, we know that actually came to be. So we hope you enjoyed the episode and hope you will support this channel by becoming a subscriber. It costs you nothing, and giving us a thumbs up, a like, and that will help us get notice from the YouTube people in order to keep us going. So we thank you for joining us and hope that you will be back with us next time. We cover a lot of science fiction television here, so we have videos coming up throughout the week. So until next time, don't go far.